Okay. Hello, everybody. We're going to do some live comic drawing here. Make sure I've got everything set up right. Cool. Happy Sunday. I'm in the middle of drawing, and I got to change the name of this thing, don't I? We're drawing the Figment comic review. It's not Tacoma anymore. So this week we played a game from Bedtime Digital Studios called Figment. We're all ready to go. I haven't drawn the comic yet. I have not been struggling with this one, so I think I finally got a comic I like. We'll find out. I got music playing. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully the mix is okay. Let me know if it isn't, and I'll tweak it. That's a new piece I've not done before. So who knows? I'm just going to get started. We've got the roughs laid out. As always, I'm going to hide the review score. I'm also going to hide the text. If you want to see that stuff, go ahead and join us on Patreon. We've got for like $5, you can kind of see the comics a couple days early. Yeah, that's it. I'm just going to get started here. So I've got my roughs laid out. I'm a little unsure about this comic, but Nick doesn't like it. But what does that guy know, right? He's a sucker. So we're just gonna trust our instincts on this guy. And I have not, again, like I say this every stream, I have not warmed up at all. So hopefully this goes okay. This is a bit of a different strip in a lot of ways. There's no desk. I'm not sitting in front of the desk in the strip for once. I feel like I've done a lot of those recently. This is actually one of those. In general, if I can, I like to place the strip in the game world. But man, recently I've just been having this string of comics that don't even touch the game world. And that's fine. But it has been a little different. And I kind of miss... Because when you can get into the game worlds a little bit, like, right, it's more fun, right? Well, there's more... It's not necessarily more fun, it's just that there's more opportunity for crazy art and that kind of stuff, or crazy scenarios for your characters to be in. I haven't missed that, so this is good to kind of get back to that. It should be looking like dead on. If anything, a little bit to the right. Or to the left, I mean. Golly. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's a little skewed, all of his eyes. Not good. I think both of these guys are a little bigger than they probably should be. Maybe not. That looks terrible. If anything, it's just a good guideline of where I want the character, but it's a bad drawing. And I don't have to be perfect in my sketch layer, but I like to be not far. I don't like to do a lot of thinking when it comes to the inking layer. I like that to be more about execution. And sketching is where like most of the details kind of come out. His head was too scrunched, for sure. Body was mostly okay though. I swear, some weeks it feels like I'm learning to draw again for the very first time. Easy first panel, and then things get a little hard here. I think I'm gonna do, a silhouette panel. Can't decide if I should do a silhouette panel on this next one. Yeah, why not? We have not done a silhouette panel in a while. Might be a little tricky to pull off, but I think it'll be okay. I think the web will help clarify a little bit. So for silhouette panels, I'm no expert with this stuff, but I feel like the way I want to do it is I want to actually mostly draw what I need to draw. I'm sorry, what I would draw if it wasn't a silhouette, and then just use the outline. I feel like that is more than I should do, though. I feel like there's probably a simpler way to do this. And simpler, I don't mean like easier. I mean, so I feel like with if I just were to draw everything like I am right now, I'm gonna end up with a lot of extra edges to my silhouette. And I really just want this. I want just the basics so that you kind of get a sense of who's where and that kind of thing. If that makes sense. So we'll see. I might do a full drawing here, and then I might simplify it come inking time. Yeah, I won't do silhouette. I'll tell you one thing I'm not looking forward to drawing here is, well, there's two things. One, I'm not looking forward to drawing a web, as simple as it sounds, because I feel like it's one of those, I feel like it's probably one of those deceptively difficult things. And two, spiders, for obvious reasons. Whoo, boy, that was a bad hand. So here's a question. Do spiderwebs, do they come together in the center, or do they have like a little opening, you know, where the pieces meet? Or strands, rather. I'll admit, when I'm usually looking at a spiderweb, I'm running other ways. I don't stop and take notes. If there's one thing I really am scared of in life, it's snakes. But if there's a second thing I'm really scared of in life, it's probably not being able to retire. But if there's a third thing, that I'm scared of in life, it's spiders. So I make a habit of avoiding them whenever possible. In fact, it used to be that my wife would be the person in the family who would take care of the spiders. But it's like, I feel like what happened was after a while she kind of took my... You start like, you know, you're in a long-term relationship, you start taking some things of your, you know, your wife, like your partner, like kind of start rubbing off on you, start, you know, you start influencing one another's behaviors. And I definitely feel like my wife stole my fear of spiders, and now I am the one who has to kill the spiders, despite when we first started dating, my intentions being very clear. It was like, hey, I like you, but listen, if we're gonna do this for real, you gotta understand that, you know, you've gotta kill the spiders in this relationship if we're gonna do this. And she said yes. So, you know, here we are. And she broke that promise. So, I mean, I'm not saying I'm building a case, but if I were, that might be where I start. Oh gosh, I'm gonna draw fuzzy spiders. That's the worst kind of spiders. Worst thing about, oh god, you know the nastiest spiders are the ones that have like little legs just next to their front teeth. Oh, they're terrifying. Maybe I won't do a silhouette shot. I think I won't. Oops. I'm worried about these guys' arms. I took some liberties here in that first panel, putting them really close together for the sake of ease. Second panel, I'm trying to establish really what's going on here. Third panel, they're now, it's clear, and I just got to make sure they're not like, they're both able to be on the panel at the same time, which means I probably need to move him off a little bit to give them some room to breathe. Which means we need to redo some of that layout, but that's okay. I think that's the better call. And the last panel will be more of a close-up again. I think that's the right thing to do. We could even go even closer on the third panel, just for dramatic effect. Which might be funnier anyways. Well, I can't decide what kind of mouth to give him. Ugh, I'm not liking any of those options. If anyone ever asks why these guys move a little bit, it's because they're wiggling. They're trying to get out. They're squirming. That's going to be my canonical answer. Okay, time to draw some spiders. Some more up close. Oh god, when they have like the when their teeth get like joints, that is I don't know that I can draw a lot of this detail. I might have to like black out and do it, because like I say, I just don't do spiders, man. Oh god, yeah, like when they get like that, and then there's It's gonna be hard when I come to inking here. Do I actually draw with these legs, like, okay, in the game that we're reviewing, they actually are just really, these spiders are just basically like circles with these kind of big, they're like this. But that's not scary. The whole point of this comic is that they're kind of creepy crawlies, so I'm gonna take some more artistic liberty here. I don't think anyone will begrudge me. But the point is, I don't think I want to draw like super muscular spiders or anything. Just like enough, and then like a little bit of arm, like leg hair as it comes down. That's disgusting. I guarantee you, you know how like stuff that happens during your day influences your dreams? I guarantee you, I'm gonna have crazy bad nightmares tonight about spiders, because that's a thing that happens about once a month anyways. But we are tempting fate here today. Just had to make a comic about spiders. The game's only barely about spiders. But it's called making a point in the comic, I guess. Where should I put this last guy? He was over here before. I think I do like him being right here. This is a terrifying image of my brother and I. This is like when I was a child, I was convinced this is going to be how I died. And I might still be right. Who knows? I don't need to do all these right now. Should I bother drawing tension on the... I'm not sure how I'm going to handle all these intersecting lines with the word bubbles, but we will figure it out. We always do. Okay, so now we've got our kind of like, oh, innocent opening shot. We've got our kind of scene establishing second shot. We've got our, oh crap, stuff's going down, third shot. Fourth shot needs to really be just tripling down on the disgusting nature of what's happening here. You might want to redraw this to some extent. Or you have to play up the spiders, like really make a bunch of them, and a bunch of them like really tearing into me. Can't be gory, but so we don't do gore. It's not what our comic's about. I think I just draw more spiders. It's going to get potentially a little busy, but I think we can make it work. Oops. Oh. This is my character's a little... not exactly happy that he's being consumed by spiders, but there's a certain aspect to it that he finds funny or interesting. Fortunately, you can't get in on that joke until the comic runs, or I guess you could become a patron and see this as early as tomorrow. Assuming I don't find a way to screw this up. What am I doing? That's way too far away. Sometimes I wonder if I actually need to redraw something so many times as I do. Like if I actually drew it wrong, or if I just like my brain won't accept a line being good until like the third or fourth time. Like it won't accept a certain low ratio of attempts or something. If that makes any sense. At this point, there's gonna be so many spiders. I'm gonna wait on drawing his body because it doesn't even matter. I'm really excited with the wording in this comic because I was able to get the phrase "catchy ditty" in. How does that look? Looks okay. They have like 8 eyes, right? And we don't gotta be exact here. God, I'm gonna draw the little jointy. Oh God, just these little mini legs they've got on the. Oh, I'm drawing them, and I feel horrible about it. Oh, it's just a little bit of hair on these guys. Oh. I'm gonna need to like take a bath after drawing this. I'll tell you what, I am getting serious shivers. Messed up. Who made me do this? Only myself to blame. It's funny, like a small spider in here would be almost just as terrifying as the big spiders. So I need to get one word bubble in there. I need to get one in here. Maybe one. Maybe just one right here. Yeah, okay. I think we're okay. Spiders are talking. They've got a little something to say. That's one of the scariest things I've ever said in my life. Cannot believe I just uttered those words. This is gonna mess me up for a while. Like, just the idea that I've got my characters here being consumed by arachnids. This is not like, usually my comics, my family kind of sees them, they kind of laugh, and it's like, oh, there's Nick and Nate, ha ha ha. This is not something that is gonna get shared around. This is horrifying. This is not going to be on Christmas cards this year. You know, this will be something we intentionally do not talk about as a family. This comic. My brother's little daughter will not see this one. Ever. Little spiders. Yeah, little spiders. Yay, little spiders. Again, not something I thought I would say this morning when I got up. I did not have a comic idea at all today. That's not true. I had a skeleton for this one. Like, I kind of knew what I wanted to say, but I even kind of had an idea about how I wanted to go about it, but I did not feel confident about it in the least. Okay, that is terrifying. This is easily the scariest comic I've ever drawn. Hopefully that's something I don't beat. It's not a record I try to beat in the future. I'm gonna go grab a drink of water. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna ink this thing. Well, I lied. I said I was going to get some water, and I did. But I also got some beer. Because why just get water when you can also get beer? It's my motto. Okay, let's do this. I am drinking, last time someone asked, I am drinking a roasted rye IPA from Reuben's, which is a rather small brewery up here in Seattle. Although they're getting bigger all the time, I swear. They're really good. Okay, let's do this. Oops. Boy, I feel like there's a ton of aliasing going on. What does that look like? Does it look like my characters? I can't even decide if I like that beard at all. Having a hard time here. Getting off the ground with the inking. Everything looks too thick. What am I doing wrong? Still looks really thick, but it'll do. If there's one panel where I can get away with that, it's the first one. Even the simple things are hard sometimes. Good Lord. There we go. Wow. Something looks funky. I think it's these? Is it these? I don't know what it is. I think these are definitely off. But I also think he's a little big, seeing him now, just in general. Okay, that's better. Still not great, but it'll do. Sometimes I can't decide what to do with Nick's nose. Like, does it just like hang? Does it like cut in the middle of his eye like that, you know? Or does it just kind of hide below? Sometimes I feel like I want to make him a smaller nose too, but he's got a schnoz, you know? And if there's one thing people are demanding in my comics, it's authenticity. That's not true at all, but it's funny when Nick has a huge nose. We have a deadline with this comic, not only just of tomorrow, but my beloved Kansas City Chiefs play in a couple of hours. I think we have plenty of time. But until we get into actually drawing some spiders here, we don't know what we're really looking for. Could be that spiders are easy to draw. Whew, what was that line? Oh, that's not the best. That actually looks pretty bad. I think, I don't usually angle his, clothing lines. His plaid lines, but I think I might do it on this one. See, just to see what it's like. Does that look better? Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. So I like to do all of my I like to do all of my inking, and then I go and do and then I go and do color, like shading and that kind of stuff. So I'll circle back to that. Now this is a tough one. I think we could also go way out. We could zoom. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a silhouette here, or we could go like way out. Should I show any web strands in that first panel? I can't decide. I might come back to that one. Where did I have it before? I had it there. What does that look like from far away? Huh. Okay, let's skip that panel for now and come back. Let's see what we feel like after our beer has had more effect on our brain. And I'm ready to make a bad decision for myself. What song is this? A Sonic the Hedgehog 2 song. Or a remix. This is not my jam. This is more like it. I don't know why I'm bothering fine-tuning that line. It's probably going to get deleted here in a little bit anyways once I start drawing the spiders. Should I start the spiders? No. Because I can always move the spiders around. I want my characters to be in the right places. Good lord. Oh, this drawing is not going great. Then again, they never do. It's always just about managing how poorly they go. Tell you what, I am not a great artist. I can do one thing decently well. As soon as you ask me to do something else, or go outside my comfort zone, sometimes it goes okay. Sometimes I learn a new skill. Other times I flail about, helpless. Oh God, what have I done? I had something that was half decent. Nope, that's a nightmare hand. Can't decide what I want to do with these fingers here. That's not so bad. We'll live with that. Okay, characters first, then spiders. It's always what my college writing instructor said too. That's a joke. You know what time it is? It's spider time. It's the worst time. I'm making a new layer for spiders, just in case I don't want to screw over my starting layer here. So I'm gonna dial this back a little bit. Yep, totally getting nightmares tonight. Big ol' spider nightmares. I'm trying to keep track of how many eyes I'm drawing here. Without actually looking directly at these things, because they are nightmarish monstrosities. I'm gonna have to like get super drunk after drawing this, or never, just so I can forget this ever happened, this drawing of all these spiders, or else I'll never ever sleep ever again. Huh. Terrifying spiders. Oops. Yeah, he's got 9 eyes. That's okay. It's creepier that way. I don't even know. Is it a bad thing to have 9 eyes? Is the whole arachnid thing 8 legs, not 8 eyes? Have I just imagined the 8 eyes thing? This is not something I'm ever going to Google, for the record. Never. The less I know about spiders, the better. I think. Or maybe I should, like, you know, maybe they always tell you, like, you need to know more about the thing that, you need just, like, immersion therapy about confronting your fears. So I should just go, like, bathe in spiders or something to cure myself of my spider fears. But, yeah, I'm not doing that. There's a thing that is never happening. I'd rather be blissfully fearful. Sorry, ignorant but fearful. Not blissfully fearful. There's nothing blissful about living your life terrified of daddy long legs. But I'd rather know nothing and be fearful than I would know a lot and still probably be terrified. So that's relatively good. I'm going to have to delete some. I'm going to have to erase some of this stuff. We still need a layer in here for the actual web. There's no way I don't mess up this web in some way. I don't find a way to like have too much of it showing or something else. Like all these intersecting lines, I'm gonna miss something. I just know it. Let's move this guy out for a half beat. Make this. Now, delete this. Anywhere where it's intersecting with existing lines. Maybe I'm doing this the wrong way. Maybe this should be. Yeah, there we go. I might actually screen back the webs a little bit now that I'm seeing them. Just to not distract from all the other line work going on here. Like on the final go round here. Okay, that looks relatively good. Still can't decide what I want to do here. I feel like I gotta zoom out quite a bit because the rest of them are pretty close. But we'll decide that in just a few minutes. Let's go ahead and do this one first. Should make these lines bolder so that they can kind of stand out amongst the rest of the line work going on here. These are things that, like, I don't know if I'm right about that, but I feel like those are things that I didn't start thinking about until recently. My character's line work trying to be separated from the line work of the scene. In like subtle ways, you know? Like not the opacity thing I just did in the last panel, which is kind of more cheaty. But just actually just being a little bit more put more pressure on it, make thicker lines, just trying to think about that kind of stuff. It's starting to click in the old thinker there. I'm not a fast learner, but I do learn eventually. So I think I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'll do my guys on one layer, then I'll start drawing spiders on another layer, and then if I need to, I can go back and fill in more of the characters. This is all going to be hidden anyways. Is that better, or is it better to have him looking at my character? I think I like that. I think it's more of like, you guys can't see the little words, and I know that, but him looking up and out into the space is kind of more him having a moment of self-realization than it is chatting with me, perhaps. Okay. Spider time. Spider time. Oh, it's great. I look up and the Oakland Raiders are losing. Today's going great. This is honestly superbly wonderful. As a Chiefs fan, I'm a big Raider hater. Okay. I mean, we're not drawing the most anatomically correct spiders. Let's be frank. That's okay. They don't have to be. This panel needs to be as horrifying as possible. I mean, all of these have been pretty terrifying, but this one especially. Sounds like the wife just got home, so I may have to step away for a moment. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. So I will be right back. Give me a few minutes. Oh, we're getting close to being done here. The last panel might be actually the hardest one. I always hate the zoomed out shots. I feel like my art does better when it's closer, like mid range to closer. So we'll see how this goes. Gonna have to get blackout drunk just to forget this, I swear to God. God, the scariest part about spiders like this is they often have like baby spiders on their backs. Thousands of them. I'm not going to draw thousands of them because I'll probably induce heart attack on myself, but also it's going to take days worth of drawing. Good news, everybody, though. The Raiders lost. I know you come here for the hardest hitting sports updates, especially for everyone's favorite Kansas City Chiefs. But, hey, they're here. You get to listen to me talk. I'm going to talk about that. We're somehow running out of time against our deadline here, but I think we're still going to be okay. What is this song? What's... Again, more Sonic weird stuff. I'm not a big Sonic fan. I played like 1 and 2 back in the day. And that was pretty much it. I have some affinity for like this song. This is like Green Hill Zone, but just the basics, you know. These baby spiders suck. I'm gonna redraw them. And I still need to draw the web. Boy, this is complicated. Sometimes I feel like that first panel could be even closer. Yeah, you might as well, right? Nothing else going on in that one. Oh, last panel, he's struggling. Why? Let's not make it silhouette. Let's keep it this far out, though. This is going to require some finesse. Finesse that I no longer have. That looks pretty okay. Not in love with it, but it works okay. We are nearing completion on this. There is way too much Sonic the Hedgehog dubstep going on in this chiptune playlist, Twitch. Really, any amount of Sonic the Hedgehog dubstep is too much, but I gave you enough rope to hang yourself with, and you hung yourself, so, you know. Okay, so where should the spiders be coming in from this particular... We like him here still? Maybe they're a little further away to start with. This should be easier than the other ones. He said, full of hubris, unaware of just how difficult this might prove. Okay. Oh, I tell you, half of drawing, half of comic drawing is just it's beating your own posture. Oof. Let's move him a little further out here. There's quite a bit of text in this one, but nowhere that's gonna really mess with us here. Oh god, how do the silk spinners look? Like, oh god, I might have to Google spiders' butts in order to make sure that I understand how to draw a silk spinner, because that is not a thing I want to Google. That is a thing that will keep me up at night. But here we are. Okay, now here's another question for you spider experts out there, all you arachnid experts. Do these mandibles count as legs? Like, my goal for this whole entire stream, and for my entire time drawing this panel, this strip rather, is to not have to Google search anything having to do with spiders. Because, for two reasons. One, I don't want to see that at all. But two, as soon as you Google search it, it's going to show up in, like, future Google ads somehow. It's going to be like, hey, you're the guy who likes spiders. So here's I don't know, scrolling on Facebook, and here's spiders in your face. Or, I don't know, you're shopping on Amazon, and like, that's a nice pair of shoes I've been interested in buying. Oh wait, surprise spider. So that's the other reason I don't want to Google search anything. And yet, do the mandibles count as part of the 8 legs? I'm making an executive decision and saying yes, they do count. Because they didn't. I don't know. Oh god, I can't even talk about this. I'm getting seriously creeped out. We're just gonna say, you know what? Yes, they count as part of the 8 legs. And just move on with our lives. And if someone wants to write in and say my spiders are not anatomically correct, well, guess what? Great. Number 1, cool. Second, awesome. We'd have our first piece of fan mail. So maybe that's just part of my ploy here, is just to make scientifically inaccurate statements in comics, and that can be my fan base. Will be, instead of people who like comics, it'll be people who like to point out biological untruths that I have perpetuated in my strips. God, you know what the worst job ever would be? It would be animating spiders in some sort of animated film. Because in order to do it believably, you'd have to really spend time studying the subject matter. Which means, like, probably living amongst spiders for, like, months at a time. Which is... I mean, we all do that to some extent, but I'm not studying them. I do as much as I can to ensure that, like, you know, when I call the fire department to take care of the daddy long legs in my bathroom, like, I don't look at it. I just dial 911. So I try to ignore those things. Oh god. I like how we started the stream talking about how, like, oh, it's so creepy how, like, sometimes spiders have, like, those mandibles that count as legs, and now I'm just an expert at drawing them. I've drawn dozens of spiders now, it feels like, and all of them have creepy crawly mandibles. It's a skill I'd rather not have developed, to be totally frank. It's not a skill that goes on my resume. It's not a skill that makes me more attractive to my partner. It's not a skill that I even like to talk about. Its usefulness dies when the strip is over. But its impact on my psyche, untold decades. Okay. I think, God willing, we have drawn our last spider. It's not true. It's not true. I just realized I need to draw baby spiders. I'm going to post this comic with a blindfold on. Seriously, how disgusting is it that spiders like put their babies on their backs, ride around with them for months? It's disgusting. Okay, have fun. Okay, let's draw this web and get out of here. Blow this popsicle stand. Now I try to draw a line so that they help out, make sense of my spiders, like where they put themselves and their legs. This is a little bit of revisionist art here. Is there anything worse than running into a spider web? Like walking into one? I mean, okay, yes, there is. It's like walking into a spider, but it's up there. It's gotta be up there. It's gotta, there's like no, it's one of the most unsettling things in the world. Running into a spider's web. Woo! I'm seriously getting creepy crawlies from this strip. I am not exaggerating any of this today. For the record, in case you were thinking this was for show, this is who I am. Bundle of nerves and bad inker. Guys, we're almost done. I can like go watch football and stuff. Whoa, this is Blaster Master. Right? No, wait. No, this is Zelda. It sounded like a little bit like Blaster Master there at the beginning. You'll forgive me. Just lost so much gamer cred. Gonna have to delete this video now. Gotta maintain the illusion. Ugh, coloring this or shading this is not gonna be fun. There's just so much stuff going on. Tangents are your enemy. Unfortunately, tangents are everywhere when you draw webs. Okay. I think we're in pretty good shape here. Do I need to draw a web in that first panel? What do you guys think? You never say anything. I think probably should. Okay. I think that's going to do it. If you want to see the words for this comic strip, along with the rating... Oh, I got to do the rating here, don't I? So, I don't know what the rating's going to be, actually, still. I've got all these. It could be a 5, it could be a 4, 3, 2, or 1. I don't know. Could be any of them. But what I need to do is put the game name here. So this is a game called Figment by Bedtime Digital Studios. It's not even really about spiders. There are spiders in it. It's not really the point. But yeah, I don't know when I'm going to review it. I don't know what I'm going to give it. But if you want to see the words, if you want to see the actual joke here, oh, I see an error. I see an error. Do you see it before I do? Maybe you've been staring at it for hours, not willing to tell me about it. There we go. We're gonna go ahead and call this good for now. I'm gonna have to shade this. I'm just running out of time. I might have to do it later. So that's all well and good. But hey, thank you so much for joining us. You can go ahead and visit GamepadInc.com for the final comic here when it runs. And if you'd like to see this comic early and every other comic we do before it actually runs on GamepadInc.com, you can go to Patreon.com/GamepadInc and become a patron to get the early unlock of the comic and everything else we do. Lots of cool bonuses like being able to pick what games we play next. So I will see you wonderful people next time. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it looks half decent to you. It was fun. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.